Testing, testing. Okay, seems like it's working. Let me just put out the pings. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, so in 5 minutes we're gonna have Nick versus Christian. So right now this is gonna be for top 8 of the clan wars. I believe that the Mad Dogs Reloaded have actually already won in terms of points, but this is going to be for something more important than points. It's going to be for personal glory. Nyx is going up against Christian. Christian is one of the top players in Unicorn. Some will say the top player. He's very, very solid, and but this time he's not playing a solid deck. He is playing the Golden Plains Outpost, perhaps inspired by Dirty Deeds. He's playing Golden Plains Outpost, long thought of as the weakest stronghold, not just in Unicorn but perhaps in the entire game. Yep, this time the version he's going to be playing is going to be quite aggressive, as most GPOs are. But one of the things which has helped out a lot for the GPO meme team is going to be IQ. IQ is really, really strong with GPO. It allows you a free move in for you to trigger IQ in a more flexible manner. So normally IQ is already very strong by itself, but with GPO it's even stronger. Right. Okay, so his restricted list card of choice is going to become Blood Benefactor as usual. Actually not as usual. I think Dirty Deeds is playing and KC as well. Also are playing Golden Plains Outpost, but with Utaku Tetsuko. So it's not as usual. But Benefactor is long considered for some time already considered the strongest restricted list card, so I'm not surprised to see it here. Christian does like his strong cards. He's playing, so a lot of the tricks, some of the tricks which we're going to see from Golden Plains Outpost is going to be, so let me just check that the game hasn't started yet. Oh. Okay, the game should start soon. Yep. Okay, looks like we're gonna get started already before I can go over the other deck. Yeah, we're gonna go straight into it. This is the top 8 for Clan Wars. Unicorn versus Crab. Kyuden Hida is the stronghold of choice for Nyx. Nyx is a very strong player. He's very lazy, but he's very talented. And he has very good instincts. He knows how to pressure players on multiple angles in any game of L5R. Yep. So we're gonna see a few mulligans. Christian's gonna keep 1 card from Dynasty, and Nyx is also gonna keep 1 card from Dynasty. Christian keeps 2 from the conflict deck, so looks like he might have some good cards there. Christian finds 1 Windswept Yurt, which is going to help him a lot in the honor battle. If Nyx pressures him on honor, Nyx is gonna go for a Steadfast Witch Hunter +2, while on the other hand, Nyx gets the Passing Fate. Wow, he goes for just Steadfast Witch Hunter +2 and a pass. You can see how much he values the Passing Fate, even overplaying his Silent Skirmisher to activate Steadfast Witch Hunter for 0 Fate. So you can see how much he really values it. Of course, both players bid 5. Christian is going to play, for this turn he has his Outskirt Sentry and a Mia Mystic. So Mia Mystic with 1 Fate is very interesting, and it's a somewhat common play. You'd think that Mia Mystic has something which you want to sacrifice, you don't really want to Fate it, but by placing 1 Fate on it, that's interesting. By placing 1 Fate on it, you can kind of dissuade your opponent from playing powerful attachments this turn and the next turn, if Mia Mystic stays until next turn. And we see there's going to be a way of the open hand to bring Steadfast Witch Hunter out of the conflict, and Christian's piling on the pressure, going with the Lurking Affliction to break Manicured Garden. With just a lowly Outskirt Sentry, he's going to break he's going to try to break Manicured Garden, but Assassination says no. That's a very powerful assassination there by Nyx. So power plays coming hard and fast for both sides. Christian continues to fight in the conflict with Shinjo Ambusher, even though it doesn't break and it doesn't block the activation, but he uses it because he wants to trigger his Spoils of War. He's going to discard his Shadow Steed, very interesting, and he gets the reward of winning military conflict with his Shiyotomi encampment. On Nyx's side, as I was saying just now, normally Mia Mystic will dissuade your opponent from playing powerful attachments, and it can do so for 2 turns when you Fate it once. But this time, Christian is going to. No, but this time Nyx is going to just play Watch Commander anyway, because he Fated it. So if Christian wants to sacrifice his Mia Mystic, he's going to sacrifice the extra Fate on it as well. So here Nick's going to play Pathfinder's Blade on his Steadfast Witch Hunter. Going on air, very interesting, going on air. So he looks like he still wants to pressure the opponent on air. He could have gone on Void, but he chose air instead. Very interesting. Void can void off the ambusher and also prevent the counter swing on Void. He does get to break, Nyx does get to break and use his Pathfinder's Blade to disable the Upholding Authority. And looks like, based on the board state, it's going to be Christian getting the first turn's favor. Thanks for joining me, 30 Deeds. Sweet. Just woke up in time. Nice. How do I keep this? Yes, nice. Yeah, so this is going to be an exciting matchup. One interesting thing is that we see Nyx is trying to fight on the honor front, as he went for air instead of void on the first turn. But Christian already found one yurt, and he just found another yurt on his turn 2. So that looks really bad for Nyx if he wants to continue to pressure on the honor front. So on this dynasty, Christian is the one who's getting the passing fate. He plays he plays his Moto Nagui, and Nyx on the other hand is going to go ham with some massive value on the Yasuki Broker. 3 0-cost silent skirmishers, which are most likely going to sacrifice each other. And of course, one of them can't sacrifice the last one, but Steadfast Witch Hunter can do the sacrificing for the last one. And then we also have the Mia Mystic, which will also try to sacrifice itself in the conflict with Yasuki Broker. So ideally, actually, nah. That's fine. Okay, so now enemy first player is going to be Nyx. Let's see what he's going for. He's going to go for fire. The fire ring, probably going to honor his Yasuki Broker. I'm surprised he didn't play Yasuki Broker plus 3. Since he has one extra fate here, and he's taking one fate from the ring. So we'll see whether that comes back to bite him. Because Yasuki Broker is a really powerful part of Kyuden Hida. So Nyx goes on to, and he finds a pilgrimage. And it has plus 2 province strength with the resistance. And Christian's going to pass. At any point, Christian can sacrifice his Mia Mystic to go for the sacrifice to remove the Watch Commander, but he's not doing it yet. He's going to activate Golden Plains Outpost to prevent the break after Nyx plays Fine Katana. And now Moto Nagui can use his ability to send home one of the silent skirmishers. He can't send home Steadfast Witch Hunter since he is 0 glory. I'm surprised that he goes to Banzai the silent skirmisher, because Moto Nagui can send him home. Can send him home, which he does. So why not just why not Banzai the Steadfast Witch Hunter? Looks like, I'm not sure whether that was in the mistake, but yeah, he got punished for it. So he spent his Banzai and didn't manage to do anything on the pilgrimage. Christian, on the other hand, is going to try and squeeze out max value from his Mia Mystic. He's going to make the conflict first before he sacrifices it. That's generally what you want to do. So he's going to probably attack on, he's going to go on Void instead of Water. He's going to go on Void, and it looks like Yasuki Broker is the one who's going to defend right now. And I'm quite sure that there's going to be a lot of sacrificing going on right now. Yeah, first one is going to be sacrificing the Silent Skirmisher, the Bulk Silent Skirmisher, to unbow the Steadfast Witch Hunter. And we can see what we expected as well. We have the open hand on Yasuki Broker to prevent more sacrificing antics. But I'm not sure whether the value is really very good here, because Nyx can still make another conflict next turn on his next conflict with Yasuki Broker. And perhaps Nyx was also thinking about this, that Yasuki Broker was likely to get Way of the Open-Handed, and perhaps that factored into why he did Yasuki Broker +2 instead of +3. Nyx gonna just milk the Manicured Garden, activate it, and looks like he's going to, oh wow, the Void Ring actually activates, and he's gonna remove the Last Fate from Steadfast Witch Hunter. This is a very valuable Steadfast Witch Hunter with a Watch Commander and a Fine Katana. I'm surprised that he let that happen. Perhaps that signals that he has nothing in hand to contest it. So maybe Christian can try to exploit that lack of military pumps in hand for Nyx. Now Nyx is going to go for his second conflict. He's going to go for the Yasuki Broker again. And now he's going to sacrifice all his troops to get to squeeze out the value from them. He's going to go for the Kami Unleashed. Yeah, one of the somewhat less common plays, but he's going to go for it. And of course, this is meaningful when you have a Yasuki Broker, because you get back a refund of 1 fate and 1 card. So you're only really paying 1 fate for the ring effect, which is pretty good. Let's see if he also sacrifices the 2 Silent Skirmishers, and perhaps also the Mia Mystic. He can't sacrifice all of them. Oh, he's going to sacrifice the Mia Mystic to remove the Fine Katana. Wow, that's interesting. And I guess that means that he's not going to be able to save Steadfast Witch Hunter this time. And on the other side, Dirty Deeds is going to unbow his Moto Nagui and send it in the conflict with his reserve tents. And of course he plays the Fan of Command. He's also going to start to tower this guy up big time with Invocation of Ash. Right now it's 4-6, and Nyx passes, so he loses the conflict. Very interesting that he's not actually sacrificing the Silent Skirmishers during this conflict. Yeah, you can't do that. Maybe he's not aware of it. Yeah, I know that Nyx is a very lazy player, so he doesn't know a lot. He doesn't practice that much. So some of the interactions he may not know of them. Yeah. Which is quite costly, of course, since these 2 Silent Skirmishers don't seem like they're doing very much this turn. The Steadfast Witch Hunter can defend military, probably can defend military. Yep. So we kind of missed out on 2 fate, or 1 fate and 1 card. He also didn't need to sacrifice his Mia Mystic to kill his own Fine Katana, because he could have sacrificed it to Silent Skirmisher. The Silent Skirmisher, you don't actually need to be in the conflict to activate it. It's quite strong. Quite flexible, at least. And now we're going to see Christian is going to swing back for the last conflict on water. That's interesting. Actually, I guess it's not that interesting. He definitely wants to do that because he is first player next turn, so he wants to take one of the fate off. He wants one of the rings to be claimed, so there's only one ring with fate. Okay, he's going to send Moto Nagui in the conflict again, and there's a second fan of command. Wow. I think Nyx is going to be pretty unhappy about that. There's a second fan of command. And Nyx is going to lose this conflict as well. Of course, this conflict is not very important since Christian was going to keep the favor anyway. So it's not super important. But just the fact that there's a Moto Nagui across the board with 2 Fan of Commands and Invocation of Ash, together with a reserve tense on a pilgrimage so well defended, it's like a mountain fortress. It's really bad news for Nyx. In terms of resources, it's kind of even. Nyx is up by 4 fate, but he's down by 2 cards. So maybe he's a little bit up on fate, but in terms of the board, it's Christian is really dominating the board. As the character's gonna clear up this turn, we're gonna see that there is one gigantic tower staring across the battlefield from the crab forces, and it's going to be very difficult for Nyx. I think he's very far behind right now. Yes, Hira Kisada is at least one way for him to put up some big numbers to at least contest Christian, but I'm not sure whether it's going to be enough. I am not sure whether it's going to be enough, especially if Christian also has the first conflict this turn. He's the first player. Now Nyx has 2 reserve 10s, so together with the Fan of Command, this tower action is gonna be a nightmare for Nyx. Of course, one really positive thing for Nyx is that he manages to flip 1 Mia Mystic. He is playing the full suite of 3 Mia Mystics and 3 Disciple of Shinsei, so that's his way of attachment control. So that he's actually he'll probably remove one of the Fan of Commands, but he still has 1 more. Christian still has 1 more. And he's going to play the Scarlet Saber, very deadly. This is one of the new cards in the new set. It's fine katana, but so much better when you are the first player. Your opponent kind of loses fate when you just win the conflict. It's very, very strong. And now on resources, Christian is very far ahead on resources right now. He has 8 more fate, and the board is probably kind of even, to be honest. Hira Kisada, he only fated him +1. I'm surprised. That kind of signals to me that he wants to he really wants to fate for something. Could be Way of the Crab, I think. But does that mean he has his second assassination? It could be that he has his second assassination and one Way of the Crab to kind of remove the Moto Nagui. Let me just check whether he's running Censures. No, he's not running Censures, so Christian cannot counter the Way of the Crab. And how many characters is he playing? He's playing 5 characters, 3 Ageless Crone and 2 Shinju Ambusher. We've already seen 1 Shinju Ambusher, no, 2 Shinju Ambushers and 1 Ageless Crone, so there's a good chance that he may not have any more characters to buffer against Way of the Crab if there is assassination found by Nyx. Speaking of drawing cards and Way of the Crab, Nix, I just noticed that Nix only drew one this turn. So he's trying to put Christian on some honor pressure. And Christian also drew only one this turn. But right now he's going to go back up to 9 honor since he went for the air ring. And Nix wasn't able to use his one fate, so he lost the fate from Scarlet Saber winning the conflict. So that's really questionable, right? So if he was going to lose the fate, why not just play Hirakisara with one more fate? Then you don't lose the fate from a potential Scarlet Saber. But I guess he didn't suspect that there could be a Scarlet Saber because, again, he is a lazy player. So, yeah, didn't anticipate that. So he's going to go in for Earth Ring, the best ring, onto a new province, which is going to be Manicured Garden this time. The good thing for Nix is that he does have a Hirakisara +2 on the board with a Watch Commander. So that's pretty good. But still, it's no match at all against the beast of a tower on the form of Moto Nagui on the other side. Wait, now there's 2 Scarlet Sabers. Wait, I didn't even notice. Yeah, now there's 2 Scarlet Sabers. Yeah, it's a real nightmare for Nix. And there's still 2 more fate on Moto Nagui. I believe this is the first copy of Moto Nagui as well, so Nix can so Christian can still find 2 more copies to dupe Moto Nagui and keep him on the battlefield even longer. He's going to sacrifice his Mia Mystic, of course, in the conflict with Yasuki Broker to get max value. He's also going to play his last Watch Commander. This is the 3rd Watch Commander that he's played so far. Interesting that he plays it here. Looks like he may want to actually contest this conflict. That's the only thing that... Wait, no, he doesn't. Oh no, right. He's going to use Watch Commander so that he doesn't lose his last fate. Right, from Scarlet Saber. But actually no, Scarlet Saber, one of them was already propped. So I'm not sure why he plays Watch Commander. One of them was already activated. Okay, anyway. We're going to see Ageless Crone go on to Pilgrimage. Probably, and of course, Moto Nagui is going to join every conflict. Very, very scary. He doesn't just have the Fan of Command to ready him, he also has the Shiotomi Encampments. He found a 2nd copy of Shiotomi Encampments. Very powerful. And he breaks Pilgrimage. And also the Iron Mine on the Pilgrimage. Iron Mine on Pilgrimage was actually quite important since it saves the Wayfinder, which can be sacrificed next turn. Looks like Nix can't really sacrifice it this turn to Yasuki Broker anymore. Moto Nagui is going to get another Daikyu, and he's going to discard his Scarlet Saber just to get the Daikyu on. So that's quite interesting. Not sure why he did that. Perhaps I think he doesn't have any more ready, so when he moves in with his reserve tens, yeah, I guess he needs to bow Hirakisara. Okay. Yep. And now next passes. Okay, so now it's kind of the end of turn 2. No, end of turn 3 actually. In terms of resources, thing is somewhat even. I think Christian is somewhat ahead. He has 6 more fate, but 4 less cards. But he has still a dominating, not really dominating anymore. He has the better board, right, with the tower still around. Whether Christian manages to find his duplicate for Moto Nagui is going to be gigantic this turn. This turn and next turn. He's going to play a Swift Magistrate with 3 fate on it. That's very interesting. Swift Magistrate, of course, very effective, especially with Golden Plains Outpost and, of course, Reserve Tents. Very, very effective. Both players again are going to bid 1. I think one of the parts of this strategy of Nick's, where he's bidding 1, even though he's definitely looking to find his way of the crabs, is that because he can extract value from Yasuki Broker and draw more additional cards from Yasuki Broker, he can get an advantage in the card draw this way. So he can still be ahead of cards by drawing cards from Yasuki Broker, even though he's bidding 1. So I guess that's the idea. And he's going to go in first conflict onto the Fire Ring. And Moto Nagui, again from Daikyu, is going to bow Hida Kisada. Christian uses Manicured Garden to block the Hida Kisada's cancel ability. Funeral Pyre is going to sacrifice Gallant Quartermaster for some massive value. So now, in terms of resources, they are now kind of even on resources now. Looks like, see, Yasuki Broker actually is has no more fate left. So perhaps earlier on, I think 2 turns ago or 3 turns ago, when I was talking about playing Nick's playing Yasuki Broker plus with 2 fate, when he had 1 more fate to spare, maybe he should have played it with 3 fate. Anyway, Nix is going to play his Kami Unleashed and sacrifice it for the Fire Ring to honor Shuichi. And again, he plays Shuichi with only 1 fate when he has 3 fate left in the tank. Actually, he had 2 fate left in the tank, right? He had 4 fate left in the tank, and then he played. No, actually, I'm not sure. He managed to get some extra fate this turn from sacrificing the Gallant Quartermaster. So I'm not sure how much fate he had when he played Shuichi. Anyway, now he's gonna play the Adorned Baka onto Kisada. Why did he do that? You need to be outside the conflict to activate it. And Christian moves Swift Magistrate into the conflict. Why? Okay, I guess he didn't mean to do that. But why did Nix play Adorned Baka onto Hirakisada? And especially against Mia Mystic this turn. It's quite confusing. Maybe he didn't read the card. Okay, he's going to go for his Gaijin Customs to ready Hirakisada. So he's gonna, looks like he's winning this conflict, but the Fire Ring isn't isn't incredibly impactful right now. And he's not breaking as well, so doesn't feel very good for him. Now he is going to be breaking. He's adding on a Pathfinder's Blade. And I think here is where we're going to see Mia Mystic is going to sacrifice itself for the Adorned Baka. No, we're going to see Moto Negui send the Yasuki Broker home. And Nyx is going to pass here. So he wins the conflict and activates the ring and takes the Moto Negui's action out of her. Or him, out of him. I believe, and also the Daikyu's action is also gone. I believe Scarlet Saber is still active and Fan of Command is still active. But there's no more Shiotomi encampment. Christian, he's going to go in with the Swift Magistrate. And Nyx chooses not to contest it. He's going to go for a court games to dishonor Swift Magistrate. That's also very interesting. Oh, but he's now Christian is going on Void, and Void is such a powerful ring right now. He can void out the last fate from Yasuki Broker and also Shuichi, and he chooses to do it on Yasuki Broker. Of course, because she also has a Watch Commander on her. Yeah, it's quite scary right now. Christian's playing Makeshift War Camp onto the Stronghold Province at this point in time. Why is it choosing to do it at this point in time? I am not sure why he chooses to do it at this point in time. Perhaps he suspects that he's going to have to play it anyway because to dodge the discard from the Earth Ring. This is where it swings back for Nyx. To scare Nyx into passing. I mean, he can't break this turn. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I honestly don't know, to be honest. Yep, so any Nagui is going to have one unbound from his Fan of Command. Wait, he doesn't? Does he not have the unbound from Fan of Command? Wait, there's also Baka. No, but this is a political conflict, sorry. Yeah, so he can't Baka in this conflict. Yeah, I think the game actually is still very close. Yep, so Nyx is going to get the Earth Ring and Christian discards a captive audience. And looks like there's no more conflicts this turn. He's going to go for his Apprentice Engineer, very strong of course, to get his Iron Mines and save Yasuki Broker, one of the so-called degenerate plays in Crab, still existing in the Jade Edict era. So now, next turn, Nyx is going to be the one with the dominating board. Nyx is going to be one of the dominating. What we're really going to see next turn, which is really important for the flop for Christian, is whether he can find a dupe for Nagui. If he can't find a dupe for Nagui, then I think it's going to be very good for Nyx. Because if Nyx can just survive next turn, then this tower is going to be gone, and Christian's chances are really going to go down the drain. So now we're really going to see I wonder if Nyx is actually going to throw away his reserve tents just to find a dupe. Oh my goodness. I'm just talking about finding one dupe, but he finds two. What a disaster for Nyx. What a disaster for Nyx. he's definitely going to activate his hey guys, thanks for joining. Kuni Betty, Villabriga, and Siri and Ebras. Yeah, he's going to definitely activate his Kyuden Hida to look for a Disciple of Shinsei or Mia Mystic. I think he's thinking now, he's probably found one of the attachment control and also maybe a Gallant Quartermaster. He's thinking which one to play, I think. Oh, okay, so he chooses to get the Gallant Quartermaster. He discards. And I think he discarded these two cards. So he still has 2 Shinseis in his deck. And no more Mystics. Yeah. So this tower is a nightmare. It's going to continue to be a nightmare for Nyx. He's going to have lots of Fate, but in 1 or 2 turns time, he's not going to have a board anymore. Whereas on the other side, Christian with his double Nagui Dupe, he has a big advantage the longer this game goes on. In the next turn and the turn after that. Those are going to be huge advantage turns for Christian. But this turn right now, it's actually probably better for Nyx. First conflict, we're going to see Swift Magistrate going in solo against Upholding Authority. He can bring in a Nimble Noyan with Reserve Tense or GPO. Oh, actually he can't. It was a political, yeah, so he's just going to... It's just a poke on political. But he manages to draw a defense from Kaiju Shuichi. In terms of resources right now, it's still kind of even, but Nyx does have more cards. Nyx does have more cards. Let me just check that he has 3 Way of the Crabs. Yep, he does have 3 Way of the Crabs. So it's likely that he has found at least 1 Way of the Crab. Yep, he has found at least 1 Way of the Crab. He might play it during the Fate phase. But actually, during the Fate phase, he won't have any characters by himself. Or of his own, I mean. So anyway, Christian is using Daikyu to bow Hida Kisada again. You can see the power of Daikyu here. He's bowed Hida Kisada, I believe, 3 times already. And now we're going to see the first Way of the Crab sacrificed. And I'm sure Christian is going to sacrifice his Gallant Quartermaster. No, he sacrifice his Nimble Noyan. Yep. Surprising that he does it right now. Yeah, it's somewhat surprising that he does it right now. But I guess not sure why he does it right now, actually. So he's going to play I think it's his 3rd Kami Unleashed. And sacrifice it. Oh, to ready Hida Kisada. That's interesting play. Well, that's very, very interesting. I'm not sure whether that he already planned this out from the start. Christian's going to use Reserve Tense, of course, to proc Hida Kisada. That's one of the strongest things about Reserve Tense. You can use it twice, and it's a very easy way to negate Hida Kisada's cancel. And next, he's going to play his own Fine Katana on his Kisada. So now, right now, he's winning the conflict. And then he will be able to unbow Shuichi for a powerful swing next turn. Next conflict onto political. Yep. So let me just check. Has he used his Fan of Command yet? I don't think he has used Fan of Command. So it looks like he still has one. He still has one unbow with his Fan of Command. Yep. He has one unbow with Fan of Command. Why doesn't he go in with all three? Why does he keep Shuichi back? Christian has no more conflicts. Why keep Shuichi back at home? This is a bit confusing. Yeah, this is a bit confusing for sure. Does he think that he has another conflict coming up? Favorite mount is going to move Nagui into the conflict, and he's going to be able to unbow it with Fan of Command. Yeah, I'm not sure why he's keeping Shuichi at home. Why would you do that? Okay, in terms of Dynasty, oh look at that. Nyx only has 5 Dynasty cards left. He can afford one reshuffle. He goes down to 5 Honor. But does he have any dupes left for Kisada? Yeah, it looks like he has one. No, he has no more dupes left for Kisada. So next turn, Kisada will have no more Fate left. Yeah, this looks like a disaster. I have no idea what he's doing. Why did he play? Why didn't he send in the Shuichi? Anyway, he's gonna play his second Iron Mines to save both Shuichi and Yasuki Broker, but this looks like it's going to be the last power turn for Nyx. It's going to be the last power turn for Nyx, unless he can get a Void onto Nagui, because he has 3 characters which are going to go away this turn. Okay, if he can save Upholding Authority, which is quite difficult to do, he can keep one of them around with Iron Mines again. Okay, he's going to sacrifice his Swift Magistrate. No, sacrifice his Apprentice Engineer for Way of the Crab. I don't know why did you do that? All your characters are fateless. Why do you care about Swift Magistrate? Seems like a mistake to me. All your characters are fateless. You don't care about Swift Magistrate. Okay, so anyway, he's going to play another Yasuki Broker with 3 Fate, because he believes this game is going to continue to be a grind. In terms of resources, it's still pretty even. Christian has somehow managed to climb back in terms of cards. I'm not sure how he did that. Oh, right, because of Benefactor, he's drawing 2 more cards, converting his lots of Fate into cards, much needed cards. If this game goes much longer and he draws more and more from his brokers, he's actually going to reshuffle his conflict deck as well, which will actually put him down to 0 honor, as in, because he's going to shuffle his Dynasty -5, and if he shuffles conflict, also another -5. So he might start to go for airing. It will also give him resources to continue this game further and drag this game out a bit more. The Void Ring, of course, here is really super powerful, since at least if you can remove Moto Nagui, the board is at least kind of even next turn. Or else Moto Nagui is just going to run amok next turn. He's going to go in hard onto, he's not sure which ring to go on yet. It is really the climax already. Tension is very high on both sides. 2 breaks, 1 more break, and either side can get to the stronghold. There's already a makeshift wall camp, ominous and menacing, on the stronghold for Nyx. And Nix is going to go all in onto Feast of Famine. And Feast of Famine is very, very painful also if it gets procced. Because it means another one more fate for the tower, Moto Nagui. It looks like he's really trying to win this turn, I think. This is what it sounds like to me. If he doesn't play a Pathfinder's Blade in this conflict, to me it feels like he has to win this turn. He says, I am going to win this turn or else it's over. Which is also a bit confusing to me because he has so many resources in the bank. Anyway, we're going to go in with 17 strength politically onto Feast of Famine. The two disciples of Shinsei, are there sacrifice outlets for them? Right now, it seems like the answer is no. There is no sacrifice outlet for the two disciples of Shinsei. Of course, they want to be sacrificed to remove the Fan of Command, first priority, and maybe the Daikyu as well. Daikyu and Fan of Command. In some cases, the Daikyu is even more important than the Fan of Command. Christian's going to play his captive audience. Now he can bring Nagui into the conflict, activate Nagui's ability, activate GPO's ability, and Nix is gonna watch Commander one more time. And Christian is now down to 4 honor. You can see Nix really pressures Christian on multiple fronts, on breaks and on honor right now, and still on resources. Although attacking on Feast of Famine kind of feels like he's giving up on the long-term prospects for the board. Moto Nagui is going to send Yasuki Broker home thanks to the captive audience. Also, captive audience also was very, very heavy cost since it loses him 1 honor, when he's already kind of down on honor. Now, because Yasuki Broker was sent home, Nix is no longer winning the conflict. He's going to use favorable grounds to send Shuichi home. Instead of further committing into the conflict, he is going to commit less into the conflict. Right. So this is one of the hallmarks of good players. They always not just think about trying to win conflicts, but also trying to win the whole turn or get the most value out of all their cards, and thinking about the next conflicts. So now he's gonna go for what this means is that since he didn't get a break this turn, it means that he will not be able to kill Christian this turn because he's only 1 conflict left. And what that means to me is that it's going to be tricky again because he's going to have to fight for the board. But because he managed to pressure Christian on honor, Christian now is going to feel that he's going to go for the airing. And that leaves Nix to go for the Void Ring to void out the Moto Nagui, which I believe he is going to do next conflict. Daikyu, Moto Nagui cannot bow Kisara this time with Daikyu because he is only on 10 military against 11 military. Just thinking about the next conflict. In terms of this conflict, looks like Nix is winning it, and Nick and Christian is considering whether to commit his attack, commit further into this attack with reserve 10s and reserve 10s and an unbow from Fan of Command. Oh, he actually goes in with the reserve 10s to move Kiora into the conflict and switches over to Void. Wow, that's a very interesting play. Very, very interesting play. Because he knows that Void is the very crucial ring for Nyx, which he would do if he had a chance. But he switches over to Void to deny the counter swing on Void. But now it leaves air open, and also of course Earth, which is always valuable, but air is also very valuable right now. Yep, first rule, don't get crapped, and it's okay to lose the conflict. Yeah. He's gonna commit his Hirakisara. I believe, yeah, Nagui has already used his ability, so he can't send Kisara home, but Kisara also cannot break. So we're gonna drag this game out. And again, like I said just now, next turn is going to be much better for Christian than for Nyx. Although it may not be actually that much better, since it looks like Iron Mines is going to stay alive this turn. So he can save his key character, which is probably going to be Kisara. And also two attachments are going to be gone from the tower, the big tower. Probably going to be Daikyu and Fan of Command. Could also be Daikyu and Scarlet Saber, I guess. No, it could also be, I mean, it's probably going to be Daikyu and Fan of Command, yeah. Daikyu and Fan of Command, that's right. Since he's going to be first player this turn. And now we're going to see the game is continuing to grind out. Oh, this is very, 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 very interesting right now. We are into one of the less common parts of the game, where a game continues, where both players continue a bit low, so they have fewer cards to spend fate on. And so they accumulate a lot of fate, and then now they have lots of fate, and it's very interesting how they fit their characters in Dynasty. So you can see now Christian's going to play Utaku Infantry plus 2 fate. 2 fate, not commonly seen, but when you go into the later stage of the game, it's a very powerful play because you get more characters on the board. Now he's going to be a 5/5 with 5 characters in the conflict. Very strong. One thing to note for is that Christian is under significant honor pressure, and his tower is going to go away this turn. In terms of the board, I think the board is somewhat even on both sides. In terms of resources, it's also somewhat even. Also somewhat even, so it's going to be very interesting again. Oh, I didn't notice this, but Nyx finds the Vanguard Warrior, which is crucial. It's going to save Hirakisara to fight another day, which actually now the tables have turned. Nyx has a Way of the Crab left. Yes, I believe he has one more Way of the Crab left. He has used 2 Way of the Crabs, but he has 1 more left. 2 and 1 more left, yep. But I don't think Way of the Crab's going to be very important right now, since there's hardly any characters. There's so many characters on the Christian side. At this point of the game, actually, it's very difficult as a player because there are so many characters on the board. It's so hard to... There's so many permutations to go through. So, as we continue on to this slugfest, I believe this is already turn 7. Check it out, it's already turn 7. The unicorn is continually trying to bash his head against the crab's shell, but the crab is saying no. And the crab also has not been passive. He's trying to dishonor out the unicorn, but the unicorn is holding on. He still has 1 more yurt left in his deck of 12 cards and 4 honor. I think this game is still very close. It could go either way, but if you ask me, I think it's actually in favor of Nyx right now, because Kisara is going to stay alive on more turn with Vanguard Warrior, and Moto Nagui is going to go away. just for that simple fact. On the other hand, Christian does have a very forceful board this turn. His board is actually much better. Nimble Noyan, don't underestimate him. He's 4 military force, and Utaku infantry, it looks small, but he's 5 military force. If you 5 force can be political as well if you get all your dudes into the conflict, which is quite easy with reserve 10s. Also, we need to see Christian navigate against Hirakisada, continue to navigate against Hirakisada, but of course reserve 10s will most likely be his way to do that. Nick's going to play court games against Swift Magistrate. That's again a very interesting play. Not sure why he's doing that. Normally when you use court games to dishonor, you're either trying to reduce their skill in a meaningful way, or you are trying to use it to make them lose honor when a character goes away. But Swift Magistrate has 3 fate on it, so she's not going away anytime soon. I guess the idea here is that what's very interesting that he moves Nagui into the political conflict. Nick's gonna play Ornate Fan onto Kisara to prevent the break. And Christian used Favored Mount to negate Kisara, so Reserve 10 still has 1 more activation. He can bring Moto Nagui, he can bring Nimble Noyan into the conflict, but that still doesn't break Upholding Authority. So it looks like yes, Nyx is going to survive this conflict. He still has only 2 provinces broken. What a banger of a game. And because both players are playing quite fast, even though it's already turn 8, is it turn 8 or it's turn 7, they still have more than 15 minutes on the clock for both sides. If it was me, I would have timed out 2 times over. So, on the swing back, now we're going to see Nick's turn. What's he going to do? In terms of the ring selection, Earth seems like the obvious choice. Nothing that's crucial to Void. Void is really attractive when there's only 1 fate left on a character. Then you Void him and he goes away at the end of the turn. Here, not really. So we're just going to go for the default best, which is Earth. He could have also gone for Fire to honor Broker, which is quite powerful, but Earth had a ring on it, so it makes it extra enticing. He's going to go just a poke with Yasuki Broker. I'm sure he's going to sacrifice... actually, he may not sacrifice Vanguard Warrior. That's interesting. That he sends in the Yasuki Broker on this conflict. Because... Why do I say that? Because that means that if he wants to sacrifice Vanguard Warrior, that leaves Hirakisada vulnerable to get voided. Yeah, it leaves Hirakisada vulnerable to get voided on the counter swing. The other alternative was that he could maybe poke with Steadfast Witch Hunter instead, and then on the next conflict, or on his last conflict, go for the Yasuki Broker, and then leaving no opportunity for Christian to void away the fate on Kisada. But anyway, Christian managed to win the previous conflict, so Kisada is turned off. He's going to sacrifice Wayfinder that he plays from hand to unbow Kisada. Of course, taking advantage of Yasuki Broker in the conflict. So I guess that's why he wanted to do it in this order, so that he can unbow Kisada for the next conflict. Although, of course, as I mentioned, it leaves this fate on Kisada very vulnerable to be voided away if Christian can win the next conflict. This is really a banger of a game. Every conflict is so tense. So now Christian still has a military conflict left. Can he win the military conflict? Is the question. He can send Nagui in, and I believe he can proc Nagui as well. He hasn't used Nagui yet. Yeah, I think he hasn't used Nagui yet. But it's of course very difficult to Nagui against Kisada since he has 0 glory. And he's going to attack, of course, as I mentioned, the very crucial Void Ring right now. If he can void Kisada, it's going to be a massive blow against Nyx's prospects in the next turn. I was saying that I think Nyx has a good chance in this game because he has a better turn next turn, but if the Void Ring goes away, if the Fate gets voided away, then no. But again, what we see is Nyx wins the conflict against just a simple poke from the Utaku infantry, was that right? Yeah, he just defends it. And Christian does not commit more. So what we're going to see now is that Nyx is going to play a favored mount into Kisada. That's interesting. And Kiora uses the Daikyu to bow the Steadfast Witch Hunter. He's going to move into the conflict with Kisada. Does he have a way to unbow? Oh, he has the second Gaijin Customs. I believe this is his last Gaijin Customs. Yep, he has 2 Gaijin Customs. He's played both of them. And he gets to proc Feast of Famine. Wait, what? Oh, okay, of course. There's Pathfinder's Blade. I thought that was a huge blunder, but Nyx doesn't make blunders. Unless they are because he is lazy and he doesn't understand some interactions. But otherwise, he doesn't make blunders. Yep. So right now it's looking horrible for Christian. What a fantastic game! I'm really in a privileged position to be casting this game against with these two excellent players. Yep, the one faded Kisada alive by turn 8. Sounds about right. And he's going to be alive by turn 9 again with another Vanguard Warrior popping up. Oh, Shinjo Altansanai is going to take up the mantle from the fallen Moto Nagui. She's going to try and fight on the board. And together with Worldly Shiotomi, don't underestimate Worldly Shiotomi as well, because she can easily be honored with curved blades and Scarlet Sabers now in Unicorn. Curved blades 1 has been played, Scarlet Saber 2 has been played, so there's 3 copies still left in the deck. Very likely Christian has at least 1 in hand. But now we can see that Nyx has deployed the forces, deployed the Vanguard, not the Vanguard, the backup forces, which is the 2 Hida Guardians. You think Utaku Infantry is scary? Hida Guardian is also super scary as a 1 drop. Right? And now it's Nyx as first player. He's gonna go on to the stronghold, and he has Pathfinder's Blade to block the Golden Plains Outpost activation. So I guess he's calculating now whether he can just win by attacking all in. Wait, how did he? Yeah, he plays Curve Blade to honor Shiotome, the Worldly Shiotome. Yep, Pathfinder's Blade cancels Golden Plains. I think if Nyx has gone all in, that probably means he has already counted that it works. He's going to add +8 with 2 Hida Guardians, but he may even have one more Apprentice Engineer in hand. I think most likely he does have another Apprentice Engineer in hand. He's only played 2, he has 3 in the deck, and there's only 3 cards left in his deck, so he has drawn 37 cards. He might play the 3rd Apprentice Engineer and activate Hida Guardians for +6 each. I think that's why he is seemingly very confident right now. Hida Guardian really a very, very, very strong card. Wait, Nyx passes? Oh, he's gonna go in on political, I guess. Wait, what? He might go in on... I don't know what, I'm not sure. But maybe he has a way to do it on political. Yeah, he can favorable grounds in with Hida Guardian together with Yasuki Broker to get the... Well, but that only be +2/+2 because he uses the favorable grounds. On the other side, I mean, even if he just attacks in, what can Christian do? All his characters are bowed. Yasuki Broker is 5 political against 1 political on Magistrate side. He's gonna go in for the Water Ring to maybe unbow Shiotome, Worldly Shiotome, or El Tansanai, probably. So it's very interesting. Nyx does not defend the conflict. He's going to go for the Banzai. He's going to censure the Banzai. How many captive audience left for Christian? I believe there is 1 captive audience if he's playing 3 copies. Yep, there's 1 captive audience left for Christian. Nick's got to break all 5. Nope. He doesn't have to break all 5. He can go in and break it this time because he already cancelled the activation using Pathfinder's Blade. Spoils of War also gets cancelled by censure. There's a second censure. Not sure whether he's playing 3 copies, let me just check. Yeah, he's playing 3 copies of censure. He likely has the 3rd copy in hand actually. And we're gonna see the Apprentice Engineer, as I mentioned, very likely he has the 3rd copy. Let's see what he's gonna find. He'll find Iron Mines, okay. And that will save Kisara if this needs to go for the next turn. If not, then he can just go in with both and bring in a Guardian. A Shadow Steed on Worldly Shiotome is going to be able to ready her at the cost of 1 honor. And we should bring Christian down to 2 honor. Oh, and there's also I forgot, there's Steadfast Witch Hunter, of course, which can unbow Hida Kisara. He's going to go all in again on the Golden Plains with 10 strength against, this looks like it's going to be 8 strength. 8 force against 10 force, and he can bring in this 4+4. That might be all she wrote. Daikyu is going to come in, but that doesn't help. Yep, favorable grounds brings in Hira Guardian, and this could be the end. I think Christian is probably out of options. Wow, what a crazy game. On turn 8 or 7? Is this turn 8? Turn 8. Turn 8, really a slugfest. Both players really playing very well. Really playing very well. I would have fated Hira Quesada with one more fate earlier on. I would have fated Hira Quesada with one more fate earlier on, but looks like Nick shows me that he didn't need to fate Hira Quesada more, since he's still alive on turn 8. And this game is probably over. Yep, good game. Wow, that's a nice game. This is really something nice. And Nyx is going to advance and continue to carry the torch for the Mad Dogs Reloaded. Yeah, great game. What a sick game. Okay, so with that, Nyx advances to the round of 4. And the top spot for Clan Wars champion is going to be fight for it. It's going to be very interesting. Yeah, should have used mount at the end to do two guardians. Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. Wait, the mount? But the mount was on Quesada. Okay, never mind. Okay, good games. Thanks for joining me, and that's all. Till next time.